Alright legends, it's been a minute and it definitely has, but I was able to find time today to do some videos and install some parts. Nothing too drastic, but I've done some engine bay parts which help to alleviate some of the clearance issues when putting an RB30 into the GTR. A little bit of painting to get ready for some other parts. A couple of brackets in the rear end that were missing, they've been powder coated. So that's pretty cool. A few little nuts and bolts and stuff like that. So hopefully you learn a little bit and let me know what you think. Okay, so I'm just, I've poured off the intercooler piping, obviously, just because I want to paint this section here. So you're not going to see this section because I'm going to have the bumper support bar, which sits along there, but I do want to install it. It's all powder coated, so there's another little slot there as well. Happy days. Okay, so while I wait for that paint to dry, before I can put that front support bar on, I'm going to attack this clutch master cylinder delete. So on the setup here, with the standard clutch booster and clutch master cylinder, sticks out in the factory location, so on the factory engine is fine. Now I've got an RB30 which sits the block a little bit higher, so everything sits up about 30 mil, 35 mil higher, and I'm running a Hypertune intake manifold. So what happens is when you install both of those, they foul on the standard clutch master cylinder, which is attached to a clutch booster, similar to this setup here, but for your clutch. So what they do have these days is you can delete the clutch booster, brake booster, clutch booster, and you run an S15 or R32 Skyline clutch master cylinder. This is off my drag S15. I put a brand new one on there, so they're out of stock at the moment, so I'm not going to put the second hand one, even though this is good, but I am going to install this Franklin Engineering or Franklin Performance from New Zealand. They've got a clutch booster delete. So what happens is, it's pretty simple really. It just goes in replacement of the clutch booster. It sits in there. You've got some bolts on either side. Once that's bolted up, you can then get your S15 or R33 Skyline set up. It slides in through there, bolts all up to it. It's happy days. And now you can install your RB30 with your Hypertune intake manifold. So awesome, hope you like. Okay, just before I install this clutch booster delete bracket, I am going to cut out a nice gasket. So this is just a rubber mat. It's about 1 millimeter thick. You just get it from Bunnings. I just use it as an insulator or separator between metals and painted surfaces. I think it's a pretty good idea. So Franklin Performance, these puppies, they don't supply one with it. It doesn't really matter anyway because I'm going to cut my own out, so I'll show you how it's done. Okay, and there you have it. So, clutch master cylinder from an S15 or an R32 Skyline, and a clutch booster delete. So what we do have is, let's just give that a quick little measure without scratching anything. Call that about 80 mil. So if anyone needs to measure anything up for a bit of clearance, 80 mil from the face of the firewall. Bada bing, bada boom. Another issue sorted. Okay, so next I'm going to swap out this brand new engine mount for a Platinum Race product, billet engine mount. Now we put it onto the one side when fitting the RB30 into the 32 GTR because it raises things up and it changes the way that it sits a little bit. This PRP engine mount is, I think it's a little bit offset the way that they drill their hole. It's solid and it helps with the height change on the RB30 blocks. So I'll pull this out, I'll unwrap that bad boy, put it all together. Happy days. Another problem solved, man. Okay, so the kit comes, you know, with everything you need. And you'll see in a second with the hole being offset. So we've got a couple of things here. I'll have to figure out how this works, but I know that this is going to go like this. This is underneath the car, and that goes in there like that. So that'll go through the subframe. This part here connects to the actual mount onto the engine, which is going to utilize this and utilize that. So that's all pretty self-explanatory. Why is that different? Anyhow, and then we have this grub screw. Looks like it can go into two locations, but I'm assuming it sits in this top one. So I'll have a little look and see how it all works and make sure we get the orientation right and make it clear for everybody else. Okay, so the orientation that I had it sitting at was correct. So the this side here has the stud going in, and then the other side has the Allen key with the washer and the spring on it. So it's pretty easy to get on. And then obviously that shank part of the stud is taken up with the thickness of the standard engine, I guess, bracket. And it just sits on like that pretty much. And there's one engine mount. The next bracket sits on here. Boom, happy days. Another step closer. So I've just got to connect this puppy here, this bad boy, which goes in between the two, I guess, drive shaft tunnel braces or mounts, and then put this puppy back up. And then pretty much it's just the rear diff and drive shafts with a teaser system on top of the rear diff, and she's happy days. Put in these two diff mounts as well. Obviously the diff isn't in here yet, but nice. Okay. Well, it's not looking too bad under here. She is looking brand new. Let's put this brace in, and there's that little bracket, the OEM brackets, be powder coated. Looking very saucy. We've seen the fuel lines. Sorry about the construction, just so to be, as soon as I'm filming, everyone comes out and cuts the bloody grass. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Looking sexy. Powder coated front bumper support bar. Can't chuck it on just yet because the paint's not dry. Don't want to rush it. So all of this will go into the next video. All of the CV shafts, drive shafts, brand new, ready to rock and roll. Rear diff, I still need to paint the outside housing there. I'm going to paint that black. Not too sure what to do with the front here. It is aluminium, so I could just red Scotch-Brite it all, make it look brand new again, but I also may paint it. Not too sure. What do you think? But peace. See you in the next one.